Well, MGM and the Netflix Slam served up an ace here in Las Vegas. I was lucky enough to take in the action at Michelob Ultra Arena. But before the big match on Sunday, yes, I went to the press conference on Saturday night and spoke with the one, the only Andre Agassi. I asked him what it was like to grow up and be a Vegas-born athlete, but also I asked him about some of the evolution that's going on in the sport of tennis. Let's take a look. We have three generational superstar talents here with us tonight, and the game of tennis has evolved so much since you played, since Rafa, you've turned pro in 2001. For the first time since 1973, we don't have in the top 10 rankings a player with a one-handed backhand. You were known for a great return of serve, two-handed backhand. How has the game evolved where we're not seeing players in the top 10 with a one-handed backhand?
Yeah, so it's interesting, the one-handed backhand versus two, because I think that decision for a young person starting in tennis has a lot to do with what comes natural and where their strengths and weaknesses are. You know, if you have a two-handed backhand, you better be able to move well, I can tell you, or at least move efficiently, because everything has to be kind of in your pocket. But what I would probably say about the evolution of the game was something I learned the hard way by playing this guy. You know, I mean, the game has gone to a point where the geometry is now different. I mean, the rules of engagement, you know, the angles that are created from different parts of the court are simply remarkable. The athleticism that goes in to defending that is another level. So it is a pleasure to be able to talk about it now instead of have to deal with it. A real pleasure. I've always considered a two-handed backhand to be more of an upside than a one-handed backhand, but one-handed does have their strengths, and it does allow you, you know, more comprehensive, say, control of the racket, especially if you even come forward. But at the same time, I mean, maybe the next evolution of the game is going to be seeing the first player ever that can return with two hands and then move to one hand. I mean, I always felt like it was a pretty big advantage having two hands on the return. With that being said, we're going to have a one-handed backhand back in the top 10 probably here pretty soon. But it is a fascinating stat to think that's the first time ever.
You and Steffi, what's your favorite thing to binge on Netflix?
To binge, that's interesting. So I only allow myself to binge when I travel, quite honestly, because it restricts my ability to ruin the rest of my family life by binging. So I try to save that for just the planes, and I've just gotten into Suits now. If you can believe it. I know I'm late to the party.
A lot of people were late to that party. Yeah. Last question for you. So, I mean, you know, you're a Vegas born and raised kid. Even your middle name is Kirk, after a fixture in the Las Vegas community, Kirk Kerkorian.
MGM in particular, right?
Yes. So, you know, your dad, Mike, you know, teaching you, training you as a youngster, now full circle to see not just the entertainment capital of the world, but Vegas become the sports capital of the world, and how the city has transformed with all these sports franchises. And, you know, I know you're a big sports guy as a fan as well. Talk a little bit about that evolution and what that means as a Vegas born and raised kid.
Well, it means a great deal. I've watched this city change a lot. So, you know, I was born and raised here, and when I turned pro in 1972 years ago, there was about 300,000 people that lived in this town. And I would travel the world representing Vegas, having to answer some very basic questions, such as, what's it like to live in a hotel? And it's like, wait a second, Vegas is more than just, you know, a strip with, you know, so to watch it evolve to a point where now we're seeing not just sports come here, but we're seeing the greatest environments for sports to participate in, the Super Bowl and Formula One now here, and you know, it's remarkable for me. I wish it was around when to have tennis come here now, especially with these two guys. What a gift to Vegas. And by the way, what a gift Vegas is to tennis, you know, and there should be a much more comprehensive way for us all to enjoy it here. We're a city of well over 2 million people now. So there's an opportunity here to do a tennis event, you know, properly, and to do it in a way that can really, you know, express a full expression of the sport. So for me, seeing it now is remarkable from this lens. I mean, this is a city of can-do, right? This is a culture of, if we dream it, we can build it. Our skyline is a representation of that. And so we dream it, we can do it, and we're watching it right here at the MGM. These two guys showing up. This should have happened last year, and it didn't, but we don't stop. You know, it's happening tomorrow, and we're all thrilled about it.
You can't say it better than that guy, the one, the only, the great Andre Agassi.